podcast as well as my Facebook Live and YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense. Today is St. Patrick's Day, which is March the 17th. And so in this podcast, I go over topics regarding the paranormal, occult, and supernatural. So if you go on my podcast platform, which is on Spreaker.com, you'll find a variety of topics relating to the paranormal, occult, supernatural. So I coined myself the magic mind medium. Being a magic mind medium, I think in this life experience, God presents certain things to us, um, and He has His own way of relaying things to us who have a curiosity in that genre of existence. Okay, I also coin myself as an intuitive psychic like um, gypsy, nomad, parapsychologist, whatever the case may be. So I do what is called spiritual readings. They're light and dark readings, which are two type of readings. I'm going to proceed with both at this time. So I'm going to start with the light reading. The first of the light reading comprises of 6 parts. I'm going to do a 3 card today regarding life. So I'm using my tarot cloth here, and we're gonna say this is situation, obstacle, and guidance. So, Father Supreme Being of all being, thank you for waking me up this morning, family and friends alike, to see another day. Continue to bless us, shield us from any injury, harm, or danger. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. As it is said, it is so. I declare, I decree. Um, I like to ask for infinite wisdom, knowledge, capability, understanding as I do my reading. I want to pay homage to Bash, Shemaiah, Shango, Osiris, Ma'at, Ogun, and Oshun. Um, I want to say that this podcast, this Facebook Live, and YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes, sometimes informational or even educational purposes. So if you go on my podcast platform again on Spreaker.com, I have a total of 5 podcasts, this being the most popular one, Spiritual Sense. So we're going to proceed. I'm going to pull 3 cards randomly. And by way of synchronicity, um, a message will be relayed, okay? Alrighty, so we're going to proceed with the life reading first. I'm going to scramble the cards. All right, so the situation that I have now, I have futility. Futility, as we know it, means uselessness, is what I have. I have the obstacle as art, and then I have guidance. I have hermit. So I feel as though this is somebody who's pretty much freelance. I think this reading is in regards to you and purpose or a lack thereof, feeling a lack of purpose, a lack of commonality, or to where you can bond with people. It's what I feel like as though this reading is on. Um, I want you to know that that is normal. We all would go through that in life where we may feel as though or be made to feel as though we're not needed in this life experience or we serve no purpose and things of that sort. That's the enemy's biggest tool and trick to get you to feel some type of way about yourself. If you're sure in who you are and where you stand, there's no need to feel that way. But oftentimes, the enemy likes to put these ideations within us when they want you to feel as though you don't serve purpose. Okay. The next card that I have, well, let's get a little bit about your love. Because I show a lack of confidence is something that is exuded by those who have false sense of self. In this life experience, you will find yourself always having to prove something to people. I don't feel as though when it's of God, you don't feel that there's no need to feel to be made to feel like you need to prove anything to anybody. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to pull out 1, 2, and 3 cards. let's get a little bit of background about love. Love. Where is this energy coming from? Because, like I said, when I do my dark readings, it's going to get to the nitty gritty of the reading, and that's the that's what the beauty of, I think, tarot card, necromancy, sorcery, or whatever. It's to each his own, you know. And this life experience, things that presented to me, I relay it as medium or mediumship. So it's more or less like a messenger. This is how this life experience presented to me. Now, how things presented to you may not necessarily be the same, but you will get an inner innate knowing, which is common amongst those who consider themselves to be mediums, psychic, sorcerer, warlock, witch, whatever the case may be. All right, so we're going to pull out the first card. The first card says coffee cup. Coffee cup. If you're able to view that card, coffee cup, it says meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted, friendships. I honestly feel as though you are the type of person, something lets me know that you're a loner type, because I'm that type of person as well. Being a loner type, oftentimes, I think God does intercede in your life a lot when you are the loner type or you're alone, but you got to also be aware that the enemy infiltrates in as well. And oftentimes it likes to get us alone, get us in our head and our thoughts about some things that are not true. The next card that I have is Hand of Cards. It says take a chance, risk, be strategic options, not showing hand gambling. So I honestly feel as though you're the type of person, you're a free spirit, freelance type of person. You have a lot of options right now. And I think sometimes you get sidetracked to where it's hard for you to stay focused and contain on one objective or even goal. So sometimes you may be scrambled all over the place. This is normal in some form and fashion with all of us in life. So you want to ask God, the higher being, and power to bring some sense of solace, clarity to you, because in this life experience, there's so many interests, things of interest that you can gear off into, and sometimes they all can come flooded in at the same time, and it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do, and what direction do I need to go? So at this point in time, I do feel as though in this reading you need to ask for some sense of clarity. As I got on this tarot cloth here, know thyself. So what does that mean? Well, in ancient Egyptian teachings and scribes and writings, know thyself is to connect with yourself as an individual, realize and recognize that you are your own unique self, and don't be apologetic to that. Also, know who you are cultural wise in terms of family culture, where you come from, and the customs and languages and things, the beauty of your own culture. And then on a spiritual level, like as a human being, as a spiritual human being, where you stand and things of that sort. The next card I have the golden mirror. Self-absorbed narcissist, one-sided relationship and love bombing. So I honestly feel as though you are a bit of a, because I get this card close to hermit. I think you're a bit selfish, but you know what? It's just you. You can be that way. Because something lets me know I'm speaking to someone who don't have any children and really don't have no aspirations of having any children, or you could be at a stage in your life where if your children are grown and on their own, so you probably somebody that's just is all about me, and that's okay. It's totally fine, because I think that something shows me that this life has dealt you some hardships, as we all will go through it. I mean, that's the cycle of life, but it has dealt you some hardships, and now it's like, okay, now it's time for me. This is me for me, and this is where I'm headed, and I need to get my headspace right and get everything in in order. And that's totally fine. Don't feel apologetic about that at all. So the next card, I'm going to do past history. I want to focus on your past history because we want to know, in terms of this feeling of inadequacy or uselessness, where is it coming from? Now we'll get that. We'll get that sensibility when we do the dark reading. But what is this feeling of uselessness and it's coming from? So I have phobias. Phobias. I honestly feel as though this feeling of uselessness and not measuring up, inadequacy, is coming and streaming for some phobias. So once because this is the beginning of the light reading, which is the life reading. Once I conclude with the light reading, then we're going to get to the root of the issue with the dark reading. Okay. The next I have high priest or priestess card. So I honestly feel as though there is a male figure or perhaps a female figure that is in your past. Can we say this is a? I don't feel like it's a mother or a father per se. Something lets me know it could very well be a grandmother or grandfather or or someone in that older generation, like two generations, perhaps three generations back. I think you are empathetically picking up on how they felt. I'm not going to sit here and say that they are the cause of how you feeling, but I think those fears that you are picking up are coming from history. That's why it's very important to try to get to know self, and what do I mean by that? Not just spiritually or even culturally, but family history. It was what I feel as though this reader is applicable to. I think this is a commonality or a common theme amongst many families, and I think you're able to realize, okay, I'm taking on moments in time, and God will present these things to you. The next card I have war and battles. War and battles. So can we honestly say that there's some connection to Confederacy or some type of moments in time in history where people had to fight for their rights. They had to fight for what was theirs, rightfully theirs, in terms of land space, in terms of their life, essentially. So we want to go back into history. We want to get a synopsis as to what a lot of these energies and feelings are coming from. Now we're going to proceed with the Celtic cards. We want to do um, we want to do thoughts, faith, and belief. And I just pulled out three cards. So we're going to go with those. It just fell out actually. I have the world card here. The world. Something lets me know that this feeling of wanting to self reliance and I think you are wanting at this point in time to connect with nature. However, you want your own, how can I put it, individuality. Like you want to connect with nature, but you don't want to connect in terms of having a lot of people come in. I can truly and honestly respect that. I don't know if in your family history they were hunters per se, where they had to get out and fend and hardworking people, self-reliant people is what I get. Very self-sufficient, self-reliant people, hardworking people is what it lets me know. The next card I have here is this card. It is the Knight of Wands. So we know Knight to relate to younger youth, or even in the past, I would say. So wands represents, it relates to willpower, life force, passion, creativity, ego, and personality. I honestly show that your family history, they were some fighters, they were some hunters, they was very important people such as yourself, and I think you take on that sensibility because of that notable persona because of this need to vindicate or to um make oneself presence known. I have this card here. It says the moon card. So oftentimes when I get the moon card, is in relation to putting a spotlight on a situation. I showed that the spotlight was put on your family, particularly, and I think it was a lot of energies that was surrounding that was probably of a dark side or dark energy, if that makes any sense. So as I get done with this reading, we're going to proceed with the dark reading because we want to get to the nitty gritty of it. Now, again, this podcast, this YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes. It is for entertainment purposes. So essentially, these are my opinions. All right, so we're going to proceed with your family history by way of the Egyptian tarot cards. So what does your family want you to know in terms of some things that transpire in history, notable things to take note of? Well, this is what I have pulled here. I have this card pool here, which is pretty much the forefront of the deck. This is what the this Egyptian tarot deck. This card is very important. I show that you come from a lineage of strong people, strong-minded people, hunters, as such is what it lets me know. Self-reliant, self-sufficient people, notable people in history, and perhaps they were surrounded by a lot of dark energies, is what it lets me know. And it's very unfortunate, disfortunate situation because I honestly feel as though it's not just your family, but perhaps every third, fourth, fifth family, even. Um, so I don't want this to be a negative reading. When I do my readings, my readings are what? I want to say this is the Queen of Wands. My readings are general readings, so it could be applicable to you, someone you know, the neighbor, someone they know, whatever the case may be. So we're going to go down to the Queen of Wands because it's very significant in terms of this reading. There's some, um, as we know, the Queen relates to what? What does the Queen relates to? Nurturing, emotional, feminine energy. These cards can represent a mature woman. So I honestly feel as though I am speaking to a mature woman. I do feel as though this energy is such as that. Um, Strong, the lady of the sciences, a noble woman decorated with the royal symbols, raises her hand in greeting. So that lets me know that you are a fighter. You're strong. A lot of these energies that you're picking up, phobias, I think, is empathetically relates to moments in time in history. Now we're going to read the negative as the positive as well as the negative piece regarding this tarot card as I mentioned, and I'm sorry, I'm thinking faster than I'm speaking, so I'm slumming in my words, but I am here and I'm not induced. Okay, so the positive relates to you, the negative is what gravitates to you. Positive says intense friendship with a mature woman or one's mother. So I honestly feel as though this mature woman or one's mother is this person that is two generations back. So two generations back would be what, a grandmother, great grandmother, or something of the sort, where they had to uh, take on a certain persona in order to make one presence known. Faithfulness, honesty, and cordiality. I honestly show that this is a warm, inviting energy. This person that I'm speaking about, very, very intellectual, very, very powerful and strong. Now, the negative, I have oppositions. I think there was some, because of this power that this person exuded and had, many people judged this person based on her looks, superficiality things, and didn't respect her because of such. And That's one thing you can't do is judge a book by its cover because you'll be very surprised. We have jealousy. I honestly showed that there was some jealousy that this person had to overcome, not of her own right, but what presented towards her. A loss of friendship. I think that this person felt lonely because I have the hermit card here. This person felt alone because something lets me know that this person that I'm speaking of was innovative. You know, I watched, and let me click this back on. I watched a couple of back in February because here it is March. You know, in honor of Black History Month or what have you, and some suggestion came across my YouTube channel regarding, strong women and Black women, particularly in certain eras. And if you go back and look at some of those women in time, it just like they did not fit in that time frame, and that's why I had to go and do further research because it was just like a mother or a sister, somebody that you know in this existence, but it was like last century. I kid you not, it was like several of them that I watch, and I can't think of any off bat, but one I will call is Zora Neale Hurston, which is, she was a literary genius, if you will. She wrote many articles and journals and books and things of that sort. And so she was one of those pioneers, I think, something notable to take note of. This is how this figure is, this great grandmother or grandmother figure is such as that. She was innovative. She did not fit in her time zone, a pioneer, if you may. And you will find that, through the milestones in history, um, certain people are innovators. Like they are in a time zone that it does not seem as though they fit because it seems as though they are far more than perception or what is being perceived of them, if that makes any sense. And once somebody has received spiritual insight, you don't have to prove anything. You would just see it and you would know it. With Zora Neale Hurston was one of those of many that were like that. Like words just can't explain. It's like, okay, what is this? Because it says that this person lived in the early 1900s, but it like somebody that I can just walk down the street and I see in this time existence. These are notable pioneers, and I think your grandmother, great grandmother, was such as that. Somebody that was kind of like out of their element, if that makes any sense. um as you will begin to see and know, these are spirits, and that's why I oftentimes refer to it as don't be so quick to judge a book by its cover, because you'll be very surprised as to how God works. So I have loss of a friendship, again, this loneliness, unhappy marriage, frustration, straightened union. I think in this is this kind of like you know how they say somebody stick out like a sore thumb or whatever the case may be. I think this is the situation that you are feeling or empathetically picking up in terms of this person, notable person that's in your family as such, like they did not quite fit in because they were pioneers or innovators. And oftentimes you'll find that when God has his hand in a situation, a person will not fit in oftentimes. Okay. So the next card we're going to read, we're going to go into the energy. The energy. I think I pretty much got all of the other things. Let's see, one, two, three, four, five. Now let's get the energy. What is the life's purpose? What is your life purpose? What is this person's life purpose? I think you are a repeat in history of those individuals, is what it lets me know. I do. Something notable is what I feel. So I get the study card for your life's purpose card. I do. Study It says read and research and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. So I honestly feel as though if you ask, you shall receive. Because oftentimes when we think about those in history, we want to feel as though they was limited in their thought processes, their capability and understanding. That is not true. And I think right now you are under a lot of stress and strain right now. I don't know if you are pursuing some type of secondary degree because I do feel as though I'm speaking to a older person. So I don't know if you're venturing off into a new direction in life and you're like, okay, I don't know, like you're ready to throw the towel in. Summons this spirit. Summons this spirit into your life to guide you, and I promise you, things will manifest favorably for you. Now, the next card I'm going to is the Healing Oracle card. So, gratitude comes up. I think you need to show appreciation and homage because when I say pay homage to these different deities or gods and goddesses. Well, you can do that with family as well. Summons them to guide you and assist you. You'll be very surprised. So it says, I am aware of the light in my life. I direct my thoughts to the beauty in and around me. I give thanks to God for every little thing that brings me joy. Thus, I enlighten my thoughts, riches surround me, and I appreciate all that life brings me. So, I think your appreciation, I do feel as though you do honor um, those in your past who have paved the way for the opportunities that have been afforded to you. I do believe that, but you need to also ask them to guide you, and I feel as though you will be guided. Okay, let's get your angel card pulled up here. Sensitivity. I think you're very sensitive right now. What do I mean by sensitive? I think now is the time for you to reach out to them. And I know this might sound crazy. A lot of people, what is this channeling and conjuring and voodoo? And no, this is in a favorable, positive sense. I think you need to get yourself in a meditative state, pay homage to those who have paved the way for you in this life experience, this life journey, and ask them to guide you. And it will be God by way of these individuals because, like I said, we everything is God. God is everything, whether it be favorable or unfavorable. So it says, Archangel Haniel, you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. So these energies, feelings that you are exhibiting and picking up on is telling on moments in time in history. Is what I feel. Let's get your soul truth card. I got one that stands out, and it's this one. If you're able to read that card, because we all have, as I mentioned before, we are in a spiritual what battle, warfare, whatever however you want to refer to it. I do have the War and Battles cards here because, like I said, I mean they were no different than you are. You are no different than they are. They had their adversaries, their hurdles, their obstacles, their burdens. You are no different. Oh, am I focused on what I want most? So one thing we want to do is ask for clarity because, as I mentioned, I said oftentimes you may lose sight and get captivated in um, the pettiness of it all. Stay focused on the goal and the mission. Okay. One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. So we want to get our thoughts and clarity and we're going to get it focused and centralized to an objective or a goal. We don't want to be all over the place and things like that. Today's soul's action. What you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, Is my life a reflection of my values, or do I need to make adjustments? Prioritize. That's the key word, is to prioritize um your thoughts and your goals and things that you are wanting right now, because I think that you have a lot of options lined up for you, and sometimes it's hard to stay focused when you have all these things coming at you. Like, it's like you all over the place. You're not an unstable, unstable person, but sometimes you want to make sure you are making the best and right decisions, and many of the times you can get, you know, scatterbrain all over the place. So we're going to proceed with the dark reading. As I mentioned, I just mentioned to you what the negative force was. We're not going to read those today. We're going to scramble it around. We want to. I'm dropping everything down today. We want to stay focused on the objective and the goal and the mission. That's what we want to do. And we do this by centralizing our thoughts, prioritizing what is more relevant, what is more important um, in a given situation. What is more relevant and more important? All right, so we're going to pull out three of my journal uh, tarot cards, the dark cards, and we're going to proceed from there. Because this is right here is going to get to the root of the issue, the nitty gritty, as to what the problem issue is. So I have this right here. First of all, when I get this card here, it oftentimes relates to um, what goes around comes around. But in this reading, I'm going to say confusion. I think you get confused sometime. I'm not saying that you are confused. I think, meaning like something is wrong with you. I think confusion is brought to you, and you can get sidetracked. Is what it lets me know. Now we have this card here. This card here. Something lets me know that I don't know if it's somebody that is in your space that is dealing with some medical concerns, and I think it burdens you. Is what it lets me know. And oftentimes the things that you want and what's going on and what's presented to you, there's a clash, if that makes any sense. The next card I have is Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Now, what does Pentacles represent? Well, we're going to pull out the guide, relates to material aspects of life, career, finances, business, and possessions. So, I think you are a business minded person, but I think whenever you are in pursuit of reaching your goal or your destiny, you get presented with somebody that I feel as though is like a parasite, if that makes any sense. And I'll just keep it at that. We all know what that is. Um, so we're going to proceed. We're going to go to the next card. Again, this podcast, this YouTube channel is for entertainment purposes. It is for entertainment purposes. Let's pull out the moon, these little moon cards here. All right, there's a message here that needs to be conveyed, and we're going to convey it. I have the wolf moon card. Protection. It has the number 2 up there. What is the significance of 2? Unity, balance, and partnership. I honestly feel as though it's somebody that you are with, is what it lets me know. Somebody that you are with who, I'm not going to say that they're a bad person. I'm not, but I think they have their own demons that they're battling, and it's interfering with some things that are going on with you. I honestly feel as though you are empathetically feeling these same feelings that this grandmother or great grandmother believe she felt she dealt with some of those same similar things in her life experience as well. That's what it lets me know. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull out three of the dark energy cards. I honestly feel as though she felt burdened with that same thing as well. As well, it lets me know she felt burdened as well. All right, I have the three dark energy cards. The first one is Asmodeus. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, King of Wands. Again, what does King represent? Relates to willpower and life force, passion, creativity, ego, and personality. I honestly feel as though this right here is a representation of the person that this person feels burdened by. I don't get the I do not get that it is coming from a love interest, oddly enough. You know how sometimes people may be in a relationship where it's 80-20, 30-70, or something of the sort. I feel as though it's family, if that makes any sense. Like you're burdened and regarding family. It says many men makes men fly into passionate rage and desire, destroys the happiness of married couples, wastes the beauty of virgins, reveal the future. I honestly feel as though um you just similar and same to your this grandmother or great grandmother. She could not. I think she wanted more in life. I honestly feel as though this enemy dissolute whatever relationship she was in. That's what it lets me know. Like anytime she tried to form any type of relationship, even and friendships, even it just dissipated or broke away. Is what it lets me know, and I show that this is why this person choose to be alone, because anytime I bond with anybody, somehow haphazardly, boom, it's like it's a force. I can't explain it. I can't put nothing on it. How do you, how, what is this? And I think she felt alone, but I honestly felt as though she enjoyed her own company. But then there was times where, you know, okay, I have accepted defeat. I accepted that the relationship, whether it's in a romantic sense, okay, is out of the question. At least I can form some type of bond in terms of a friendship in pursuit of some business ideas that she probably had or things she wanted to do, and boom, back at square one. That's what it shows me. Now I have Bifrons, the hangman. This is another demon. So it teaches natural and planetary sciences, lights, corpse, lights above graves, and move bodies so the souls may be stolen. I think I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like, because I do feel as though this person was a strong person and in a favorable sense, but I think there was a dark side to this person as well because of these things. I honestly feel as though a lot of it was pushed up. I get the number 46 here, which is significant. Some ties to 46. Could that be an age or whatever the case may be? But I think it made this person very bitter later on in their life. Okay. Um, the next card I get, I have Page of Cups. So the cups relates to our feelings and emotions, creativity, relationships, intuition, and compassion. It mentions stolas. Stolas. That's what it mentions. Stolas. Um, teaches astronomy and the values of herbs and precious stone. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there, put it all in a nutshell. I honestly feel as though you're this this figure, this strong, powerful figure had some ties to the occult. Now, whether that be voodoo priestess, root worker, quote unquote, sorceress, Wiccan, witch, whatever you want to refer to it as. But this is essentially is what it lets me know. However, I think this persona was pushed up. So it wasn't like she chose it. No, it chose her. That's what I feel. And I think perhaps some things that are happening with you is to get you off into that as well. It's what I feel. Um, so we're gonna proceed with moonology. Moonology. So what are we? Let's get some sensibility about your astrology. Like I said, I'm not big on astrology. I have to reference to this guide in reference to doing my reading, and we're gonna go from there. This is what I have here. The energy is gaining momentum. So do feel as though that she wants you to know it has wax and moon. You have you have support around you is what she wants you to know. And I honestly feel as though your energy is gaining momentum pretty much as it mentions. Like this ability, this capability is around you. You have the gift. It's what I feel that is. Um, I'm not going to go into astrology because it does not mention anything about astrology. And as I mentioned, I'm not an astrologist. I do believe in numerology, but I can tell you, I can only go off of what this guy has here in terms of your astrology. I know I'm a Gemini. Both of my children are Aquarius, um, or what have you. So I'm going to say that um taking on this new persona into the occult, whether you're a herbalist, you know, you may not want to get so deep into being into Wiccan, herbalists, and things like that, but it could very well be herbalist or something of the sort, witch doctor or whatever you want to refer to it as. Do those individuals have capabilities? I do feel that way, and I think that you're this figure, this motherly figure was that in her life experience is what I feel. So I am going to conclude this episode of Spiritual Sets doing the light and dark reading. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, or a topic for a future show, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.